Okay, in this video I'll show you how the setup of the ConvoGraph and the uh, ConvoGraph sample add-on works. You can see here in the Unleash the Bunker mods folder I have both of them, and if I run it through CodeLight, I'm gonna wait for it to load. And like the basic idea of it is that it's a dialog tree system for HPL3, specifically for the bunker. Technically, it should work with the other HPL3 games, Soma and Rebirth, but I think the dependencies are broken, so it might need to be included into the mods that want to use this. So here is like a very basic example map, and I start a convo with this button. You can have like arrow keys to select options and space or enter to proceed and select an input option. Now, the way this works is that it loads a dialog tree from an XML file in config. So you can see here, I have it in the convo folder. I'm gonna edit with Notepad, and all of this is a lot of work to manually input into XML. So I made a Unity project where I'm using the new Graph toolkit to create an interface that automatically does this for you. This file was created manually, and the others created through the exporter. So it works. So in the ConvoGraph add-on, if you check the README, or if you see the GitLab or the workshop or ModDB lists, you will have a link towards the Unity interface project, and I have it downloaded. So once you download it, you can open Unity Hub, and first of all, if you don't have the editor, you can like install the editor and you want the latest 6.5, or if this is in a like far off future, it might just work, or it might just be updated, but you want at least Unity 6.5 at this stage. You can find it in the pre-releases alpha, and you have to install the editor here. Once you have downloaded the project, you can like add it from disk if you don't have it already. Once you download the project, you have to add it from where you downloaded it, and then you can just like open it like this with 6.5. Once it is done loading, it should look somewhat like this. Well, it will probably have the default layout, so I'm just going to load that. And you're going to have here like the data folder, and I'm just going to show you how to make a new one. So I'm just going to close the windows that I don't need. And I'm gonna go to create HPL3 convo and a new one, and I'm just gonna say it video demonstration convo, and you can double click on this, and you can put this here, and you have like the interface here already. I'm just gonna move the project and console here because I have more space to edit. You'll see here in the inspector tab, if you have this selected, the asset that you created, you can name it, I'm just gonna name it video demonstration. And you have like two fields here, export path and backup path. You'll want to specify those because that's where it's going to save the exported XMLs. I'm just gonna go to the sample and go to config convo, paste this over here, and I'm just gonna make a folder of backups. This is where I want to have the backup of the Unity scriptable object file, and I'm gonna apply. I'm gonna check auto export on any change and auto backup so that it makes these by itself. So yeah, let's start a new graph. I'm gonna add a start node. Okay, you press space and then you type, you have like the list of nodes here. You can just type a type of node and then it will add it. All nodes have this override ID in case you want to give them a specific ID, but most of the time you will not need that. So this is a start node. The convo is going to start from here. Here is the line ID. It's technically not an ID. It will be reworked at some point so that it will use the localization system, so it will be a bit different. But at the moment, you can just like type in text and just say this is the first line of dialogue in the convo graph. And then let's say I'm gonna add another line. This is the second line. And then I'm gonna add an end node. And this should be a very basic conversation. I pressed Ctrl S to save it. So if I open the path, this should have the backup, and this should have like video demonstration.cfg. So it should be playable already. I'm just gonna go into the map script. I'm gonna zoom in so that you can see in the video as well. And I'm just gonna copy out this button callback, name it button 4, and I'm just gonna make it play this instead. I'll have to add a button to the map, or actually for the demonstration purposes I can just put it on the on enter function. You probably don't want to do this in your mod. I think it should probably just work on reload. Yeah, and it works. This is the first line of dialogue. I can press continue, and this is the second line and end, and yeah, this works. Now there's like a few different kinds of nodes that you can use. For example, we can put a switch node, which is basically an if for nodes. Like the dialogue generally follows the flow. You can just put it here, and a switch node basically checks a condition, which can be of different types. You have like global bools, which you can check, conversation flags, which is basically a string that can exist or not within the memory of like a specific graph, a map validator, which is a function that you define in the level script, and it returns a bool value through the global arg system. And then you can have like composite expressions and I'm thinking of adding a few more condition types that can be used here. Let's just go with convo flag for this, and let's just name it example flag. And if it's true, then I'm gonna add the line node and say the example flag, it was set to true. And then if it's false, the example flag was false. Then I'm gonna add a line node, and I'm gonna say we'll set it to true now and restart the conversation from a previous point. So I'm gonna make it so that you can only end the conversation once it is true. And then I'm gonna use an action node, which is basically a node that does something, and it uses a convo action. And I'm gonna check the flag called example flag. And then I'm gonna add another line node saying that we're gonna move through the redirector back to a previous point. Now, normally if you don't have a redirector, you can probably just drag the flow and you go back to the line node here, but that's just like ugly spaghetti code. So until like the graph toolkit adds a better solution for this, I'm just gonna like use my custom redirector. And for that I need the node ID, and I need a specific node ID, so this is like an example where I would actually use the override ID. And like let's just say this is called conversation start, and I'm gonna make it go here. And then since that example flag should exist, it should go here, and I can save it, and then reload. The example flag was false. Okay, it should restart. and it should move through the redirector, and it's back to the first line. The example set flag was true, and now it ends the conversation. Now I want to showcase like input lines. So basically, maybe we want to restart again, or maybe we want to give the player an option to leave. We're adding an input node, which has different input options. And this one will be end conversation. And let's do another one, which would be restart. These can also have conditions, like the switch nodes. And if the condition is not met, the input option will not show up. So this will end the conversation. And to restart, we'll just reset the convo flag. I should uncheck it. And then redirect to the start, so it will loop. Now let's see how this looks like. Yeah. Okay, the example flag was set to true. I can choose to restart or to end the conversation. If I restart, yeah, the flag is false again. And I can end the conversation. I can showcase some of the other examples. The second example is basically kind of something similar to this. And the third example just showcases different types of conditions, composite expressions. So you have like these three convo bools or like flags, and you can toggle them with the inputs, and you can see how like inputs and conditions just show up here. And yeah, you can also see how this is basically persistent. Another thing that might be interesting is that here you can showcase some map functions. Like here I turned on the light with this action, and there's like this map validator, but not all the lights are on. And you can see that like if I turn on these switchboards, yeah, all of them are on.